Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos orders a royal grant for social security families on the occasion of the 47th glorious National Day. The Council of Ministers allocates an article to support the citizens who are affected by the fuel price increase. On behalf of His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed receives His Excellency the President of the House of Representatives in Cyprus. And the Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council stresses on carrying out procedures for achieving sustainable finance and enhancing economic diversification. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. As per the royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos and within the royal care accorded by His Majesty to ensure that citizens of this dear nation live with dignity, His Majesty ordered a royal grant for social security families on the occasion of the 47th glorious National Day, 18th of November 2017. These families will also receive the upcoming Eid royal grants, Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, as it has been the norm followed in the previous years. Within the framework of the continuous keenness of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos on the standards of living of Omani citizens, as well as His Majesty's royal directives to take the necessary steps to achieve this approach, the Council of Ministers appointed at the beginning of this year a specialized committee that was announced earlier to complete the mechanisms and procedures to support those citizens affected by the changing of the fuel prices. In light of the recommendations of the specialized committee and the concerned authorities, it has been decided to allocate 100 million Omani riyals in the state's annual budget for the categories that are eligible for this support. The concerned committee will announce the details of the procedures and mechanisms of the process of the eligibility of the support from January 2018, as well as following up its implementation and issues related to it. This noble gesture coincides with the celebrations of the 47th glorious National Day and comes in continuation of the rapid achievements of His Majesty's wise leadership. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, received today His Excellency Dimitri Silouris, the President of the House of Representatives of Cyprus. His Excellency conveyed the greetings of the Cypriot leadership and its best wishes of good health and happiness to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos and the Omani people, further progress and prosperity. From his side, His Highness Sayyid Fahad asked the guests to convey the greetings of His Majesty the Sultan and his best wishes to the Cypriot leadership and the government further success and the Cypriot people more progress. During the talks, they reviewed ways of enhancing the bilateral relations in various fields between the two countries. His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal Al Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of Royal Court, received His Excellency Dimitri Silouris, President of the House of Representatives in Cyprus. During the meeting, they reviewed bilateral relations between the Sultanate and Cyprus and exchanged cordial talks. Strengthening parliamentary cooperation between the Sultanate and Cyprus topped discussions at the meeting of His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfoud Al-Mandri, Chairman of the State Council, with His Excellency Dimitri Silouris, President of the House of Representatives in Cyprus. His Excellency, the Chairman of the State Council, expressed his inspiration that this visit will deepen cooperation relations between the two countries through opening a platform in the economic, commercial, scientific, cultural and scientific fields. From his side, the President of the House of Representatives in Cyprus praised the development being witnessed by the Sultanate in all fields, looking forward to strengthen the educational cooperation between the two countries through exchange of students' programs. Carrying out procedures for achieving sustainable finance and enhancing economic diversification were stressed by the Council of Financial Affairs and Energy Resources in its 6th meeting of the year. The Council encouraged during its meeting the continuation of work to enhance attractive investment environment and to refine the framework of partnership between public and private sectors. The Council reviewed a number of reports related to renewable energy sector, mainly the National Initiative for Solar Energy, SAHEM. The Council also discussed approved procedures in the Council of Ministers while discussing the project of the state's general budget for the coming financial year and on the report of the Financial Center of the state issued on the 30th of September 2017. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Darwish bin Ismail Lublushi, Minister responsible for Financial Affairs, Deputy Chairman of the Council. The Sultanate condemned the terrorist attack which targeted one of the oil pipelines near the village of Buri in the Kingdom of Bahrain. In a statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Sultanate assured its absolute solidarity with the Kingdom of Bahrain against all norms of destruction, terrorism, and targeting innocent people and governmental and private institutions. After 40 years of achievements, the Institute of Public Administration celebrated amid various activities what have been achieved since its establishment until today. The ceremony included various events and honored a number of contributors in various decades. It reviewed the march of the Institute in 40 years and the results it's made in developing institutions of the state, uplift the functionality of workers in the administrative system of the state by working in the main fields of training, qualifications, researchers, consultations, and providing referral services. The ceremony included also the new strategy of the Institute 2020, inauguration of the new identity of it, and announcement of a new building of the Institute, which will make a qualitative leap in its coming phase. The events of the ceremony included a photographic exhibition that documented various activities of the IPA during the previous working years. Still to come in our news bulletin. The historical village of Birkat al-Moz is an attractive touristic destination for visitors from all over the world. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The governor of California today said that California is not waiting for Trump to address climate change, but was getting on the side of nature instead of fighting it now. Jerry Brown made the remarks at a summit of cities and regions on the sidelines of the UN Climate Conference in Bonn, Germany. Hundreds of mayors, governors, and leading representatives at local and regional levels are invited to the meeting that aims at launching initiatives and building strategic coalitions for climate action. At the event, Inya Siro Iratu, Minister of Agriculture in Fiji, which holds the presidency of the COP23 summit, said that options to reduce emissions were needed urgently, with more than half of the world's population living in urban areas. The gathering is hosted by the federal state of North Rhine-Westphalia, and the city of Bonn in collaboration with International Council for Local Environmental Initiatives. The Prime Ministers of Australia and Vietnam arrived in the Philippines today to attend the 31st ASEAN Association of Southeast Asian Nations Summit. The nuclear threat from North Korea will be one of the issues discussed among ASEAN leaders, who are likely to stick to their expression of alarm over Pyongyang's ballistic missile and nuclear tests and press their call for the country to return to long-stalled denuclearization talks. The Vietnamese president said his country is committed to contributing to the denuclearization of the Korean peninsula during a joint press conference with U.S. President Donald Trump today. Tran Dae Quang was speaking in Hanoi following a meeting with Trump. North Korea has been a focal point of the U.S. president's trip to Asia. During the two leaders' meeting, Trump offered to serve as a mediator on the South China Sea territorial disputes. Tran Dai-Quang said all disputes in the South China Sea should be solved through peaceful negotiations. Chinese President Xi Jinping attended a series of bilateral meetings on the sidelines of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Economic APEC Leaders Meeting in Da Nang, Vietnam. During the meeting with South Korean President Moon Jae-in, Xi reiterated China's stance on the issue of the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense System, THAAD. Xi stressed that once on such high-stake issues, both countries should hold responsibilities to history, to bilateral ties, and to both peoples, so as to steadily move forward bilateral relations in the right direction. Moon said South Korea understands China's concern over the THAAD issue and has no intention to harm China's interests of strategic security. Both leaders expressed their willingness to resume and deepen high-level exchanges and cooperation in various fields. They also exchanged views on the Korean Peninsula situation. U.S. aircraft carrier strike groups were crossing the Western Pacific today to participate in a three-carrier strike force exercise in international waters. Vessels included the USS Ronald Reagan, USS Theodore Roosevelt, and USS Nimitz, and ships from the Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force. The United States and South Korea yesterday started joint naval exercises that will involve the three U.S. aircraft carriers in what military officials describe as a clear warning to North Korea. The four-day drills that began in waters off South Korea's eastern coast come as President Donald Trump continues a visit to Asia that has been dominated by discussions over the North Korean nuclear threat. The three carriers will be likely together in the drills around tomorrow. Back to more local news. The coverage of the national campaign for immunization against measles, German measles and mumps diseases reached 98% for Omanis and 88% for non-Omanis. That was revealed by the Ministry of Health. The campaign approved the strength and durability of the health and social system in the Sultanate, in addition to citizens' awareness of this disease. The campaign, which lasted for a month, targeted the age group between 20 and 35 years old. The Ministry of Health expressed its utmost thanks and appreciation to various public and private establishments, in addition to volunteers and health cadres for their active participation, which resulted in the success of this particular campaign. The Ministry of Health celebrated the World Walk Day by organizing a national campaign for physical activity and educational campaign for diabetes. The campaign, which launched on the 5th of the month, included awareness and educational activities and events, various sports competitions, in addition to an exhibition with different health, sports and nutrition corners. The campaign will go on until the 16th of the month with the participation of several health institutions affiliated to the Governorate of Muscat. Oman telecommunications company Omantel announced that it won the auction to buy a 12% stake in the Kuwait telecommunication company Zain. It is worth mentioning that Omantel controls around 22% of Zain shares in a deal that reached more than 845 million Omani riyals. According to the deal, Omantel now owns more than 425 shares, which made it the second largest contributor in Zain Group. After completion of this deal, it is expected to contribute in digital transformation in the Sultanate and the region in general, in addition to expand revenue sources and introduce innovative ideas and services. In the Governorate of Ad-Dakhiliya, the historical ancient village of Birkat al-Moz is a touristic landmark which is continuously visited by people from various countries. Our colleague Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rabi'i was there and he made this report.
Prior to the 1970 Renaissance, most of the Birkat al-Moz residents were accommodated with this old Hillat Saybani village compound, which is very much surrounded by the famous foliage that facilitate overall greenery of the town. The compound that is comprised of congested houses built of stones and lime. Houses that resemble an extension of lofty residences clinging to each other in quite a mild, shabby skyscrapers fashion.
I've never seen anything like it before. It's the first time I've ever been to a place like this, and actually I'll probably be more interested to understand some of the history behind it and why the people who lived here, why they left.
Barkat al-Mawz actually has long history. It's about 400 years old, and it's since Al-Ya'rabi dynasty, exactly during the period of Sultan bin Saif bin Malik al-Ya'rabi, when he made the village, which is listed in UNESCO, Al-Khatmain village. This village is built by mud, and the foundation built by stones, as you see, to make it stronger. And the feature of mud is to make the house fresh from inside. It's part of our heritage, which we have to keep. It's one of the main visitor attractions for the tourists, to come and see these old houses so they know the history of the country.
This was a great discovery for us and a great experience for all the family. It was a very family-friendly trip that we really enjoyed. The part of Oman that really gave me the biggest emotions was this last part, walking through these old villages.
This is a very good place, and go in different places to speak in different language.
It's a beautiful place, and I enjoyed seeing these houses falling apart. And I even enjoyed all of the food here and eating different food from Italy.
The movements of Hillat Seybani villagers was regulated through two main gates and supervised by local guides to maintain security trends. The inhabitants' peaceful environment was well scrutinized through tall towers surrounding the compound all sides.
I come here to visit my family member. Today I'm here at Barkat al-Mawz. I enjoyed the historical of the old Seble of the village, which accommodated everyone in the past.
What we are most surprised of is really also the diversity and also the mountains you have to offer here. We are very impressed by the landscape and also the cultural heritage you have, and also very much about the people. We find Omani people extremely friendly, open, and this is something we really appreciate a lot.
There remained a communal togetherness of neighborhoods between the inhabitants throughout ages, until when the very inhabitants moved out to be properly accommodated in the modern town of Barkat al-Mawz. Thanks to the modern development that has been taking place since His Majesty's took power. Hillat Seybani therefore remained graceful in its older image of Omani traditional style. Harat al-Seybani therefore remains graceful in its olden image of Omani traditional style that attracts visitors as well as restore historical remnants of this beautiful Barkat al-Mawz. From Barkat al-Mawz in the Governorate of Al-Dakhliya, I'm Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubai, Sultanate of Oman Television.
Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the Governorate of Musandam and coastal areas of Oman and coastal areas of Sea of Oman, with chances of scattered rainfall. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the governorates of South Sharqiya, Wusta and Dhufar, while winds will be northwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos orders a royal grant for social security families on the occasion of the 47th glorious National Day. The Council of Ministers allocates an article to support the citizens who are affected by the fuel price increase. On behalf of His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed receives His Excellency the President of the House of Representatives in Cyprus. And the Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council stresses on carrying out procedures for achieving sustainable finance and enhancing economic diversification. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.